Good morning, friends, and this is Science Show. We are discussing about mining on the moon. In fact, mining on the moon is a very big subject, and I will tell you step by step what is going on, starting from Chandrayaan. All right, so the subject matter is the lunar gold rush. Why I am saying this is a gold rush? Gold doesn't mean that it is about gold. It is about anything which has a capability to generate money. So that is what I'm referring to. And since every country is going to moon, right now a lot of countries are showing a lot of interest in sending their manned mission to moon. You only wonder, what may be going on, and what is so precious now on the moon, for which every country is trying to get a pie of. So let us understand this, starting with the Chandrayaan. Well, Chandrayaan is in the orbit of the moon at this point in time, and on the eve of India's Independence Day, which is August 15th, ISRO will perform complex maneuver to bring Chandrayaan closer to the moon, surface of the moon. And this is the third variant of Chandrayaan mission, and therefore it is called Chandrayaan 3. So the way the reduction in the orbit will happen is that they will actually fire the engine, and they will try to slow the speed down. And once the speed is slowed down, the moon gravity influence on the Chandrayaan will increase, and because of that the reduction in the orbit will happen, and slower speed much closer to the surface of the moon. Then the next maneuver will start, and therefore these are important steps. So friends, wait for it. August 15th in the evening, sometime in the evening, which is morning in the other side of the globe, which is the US, etc. The Chandrayaan 3 will be performing maneuvers to reduce its orbit. Okay, so what else is going on here? So besides India, Russia is also launching, is in fact is already launched the moon landing spacecraft after 47 years. So can you imagine why there is a renewed interest in moon? Is it that since every country is going to moon, Russia also wants to capture a portion of moon for its commercial purposes? So after 47 years they are sending their lunar mission, and specifically everybody is now looking at the southern pole. So Indian Chandrayaan 3 will also land on the south pole of the moon. So everybody is now looking at sending either manned mission or the orbiters or robotic probes on the southern pole of the moon. So there must be something very specific happening in the south side of the moon. So time will tell, but let us understand what more is going on. So if you look at other superpowers, which is US and China, they are also engaged in a race right now to land astronauts, basically humans, on the surface of the moon, specifically on the south pole. And China has promised that they will be landing humans, the Chinese astronauts, by 2030. So a lot of preparations are underway. Chinese space agencies are working very hard to send humans to the surface of the moon. Well, China is a communist country, so we do not hear too many details about their program. We will only hear about them once they have either started or finished their project. But this is a public knowledge that by 2030 they have announced they will be landing humans on the surface of the moon. How they are going to do that, a lot of information is not available. If you look at the NASA's moon mission, we know that the current moon mission is known as Artemis, and India is also a signatory of the Artemis space collaboration, and therefore a lot of information is available about Artemis moon mission. However, how China is going to land the humans by 2030, we have no information. I'm not saying that they will not be able to do it, but it is just that it is very secretive. So what is so precious on the moon? Of course, water is precious, because water is the basic need. And Chandrayaan 1, the first variant of Chandrayaan, was instrumental in locating water on the surface of the moon. So that actually created a lot of confidence among the human population that if there is water, then the humans, when they land there, will be able to survive, because water is not only used as basically your drinking water, but you can actually convert water into oxygen and hydrogen. Oxygen for your breathing purposes, hydrogen for your fuel. So water locating water on the surface of the moon is very, very important. It's absolutely critical for the future manned space mission on the surface of the moon. So water could be one big commodity, because that is a basic need, and therefore future space mission will be sent to those locations where there is water on the surface, so that it can be processed, and the humans which are performing various missions on the moon can survive for a longer time. All right, so what next could be more abundant on the moon? And that is the helium-3. Now helium-3 is the wonder fuel for fusion reactions. And as you know, friends, that the fusion reactors which are under development right now are the energy source of the future. So fusion is much more efficient nuclear power generator. It generates a lot of heat, much more, at least 15 to 20 times more energy than the current fission reactions. So fusion reactors are being developed to solve the energy crisis of the future humans. However, helium is finding helium and controlling helium is a challenge on Earth, because helium is not found in the atmosphere, and helium has to be extracted from the rocks. So basically trapped helium on the surface, which is very, very rare. So to find the helium on Earth is rather difficult. That is why whereas the helium-3 is very abundant on the surface of the moon. So if we want to basically fuel our future fusion reactors, we would need the source of helium, and moon can be one big source of helium. So this could be one of the criteria for helium mining and bringing the helium back to Earth. First, create a fusion reactor on the surface of the moon itself, so that you can power your devices there, and then use that energy to dig more of basically helium, and also other mining activities, and also survival, etc. So for helium-3, humans may be going out, different countries may be planning to do. In fact, Japan has also planned a moon mission within next few months. So all of these countries are now planning to go to moon for certain tangible benefit. What next? We know that the computer industry is instrumental for our growth and our lifestyle today, because wherever you see the microprocessors, chips, etc., they play a major role in our life. But these microprocessors are made of rare earth element. Why we call them rare earth element? Simply because they are rare on Earth. And these are elements which are absolutely essential for creating these microprocessors, and they are rare, and therefore there are certain countries who have the monopoly. So specifically to remove that monopolization of the rare earth element mining, etc., back on Earth, the countries may be going to moon for mining, and moon is just very close by. It's not like going to Mars. It's just a 3 days ride to moon. So for mining this rare earth element, moon can be a very good source for solving your microprocessor construction problems or challenges. And rare earth element could be the real gold mine for whoever is able to find a good deposit of rare earth element on the moon, and bring it back to Earth, or maybe create a fabrication plant up there on the moon itself and send the ready-made microprocessors back to Earth. So moon can become not only mining center but also manufacturing hub. So I think there are a lot of things which are under works at this point in time. So let's go back to our discussion about Chandrayaan, because Chandrayaan is the latest one. In next couple of days, it will land on the surface of moon. This will be the India's attempt to make a soft landing on the moon, and this mission is absolutely critical for the future missions from India, from ISRO. So while on 15th of August it is going to maneuver and lower its orbit, however, it will be landing. The target of landing, making a soft landing on the surface of the moon for Chandrayaan 3 is August 23. So friends, watch out. This next 1 week is going to be very exciting when Chandrayaan lands on the south pole of the moon on August 23. So and then India will also must be having some plan for the future, because India also is a very energy hungry nation. We are large population, and therefore we have huge energy requirement in our own country. So how do we solve our energy requirement, etc.? Now lastly, let's talk about the legal aspects. Well, there has been an agreement way back in 60s where any commercial activity in space has been barred. That means you can actually do exploration of the outer space, and all countries, including United Nations, has forced on all countries that you should not be using outer space for war or for commercial activity. So there are signatories to that. However, there are a lot of loopholes, and if the countries are able to find loopholes and convince United Nations that they are doing mining on the surface of the moon for the betterment of human civilization, then using those loopholes, these countries with capabilities will be able to capture an area, a sort of a boundary of their own on the surface of the moon, and start doing mining and also building those outposts on the surface of the moon. This is important actually, because when we are actually sending humans out, there has to be some commercial tangible benefit that the human civilization get, or also use moon as a jumping ground for next destination. And therefore the countries may change the legal aspect, may come up with a new regulation, or they will probably found loopholes in the current agreements. So time will tell. However, everybody is now getting towards getting onto the moon, mining on the moon, and making money from the moon. So friends, if you have any questions on this subject, feel free to send it across, and I will read your questions in the next edition of Science Show. Until then, take care, have a nice week ahead, and bye bye for now.